Have you ever felt wronged, as if the world were against you? What if I told you that, instead of reacting to someone's pain or mistake, there's a more powerful path: silence. When someone makes a mistake in front of you, the impulse is to fight back, correct them, seek justice, isn't it? But what if instead you could trust in the power of karma to do all the heavy lifting for you? In this video, we'll explore how karma acts with precision, correcting injustices in ways humans could never achieve. Sometimes the best thing to do when someone hurts or betrays you is to simply step back, stay at peace, and let the universe take care of everything. But how? How do you trust that justice will be served when the pain of betrayal, manipulation, or lies feels unbearable? Stay until the end to discover the secret of the wise, the power of not reacting, of not getting lost in revenge, and of letting karma, that invisible, infallible force, take the reins of the situation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What is beyond your control should not disturb your inner peace." Are you ready to learn the true art of self-control and trust in the divine process? Comment below. Have you ever let karma take its course in a situation? How was your experience? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to continue this journey of self-discovery. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences we can face. It cuts deeply, like an invisible blade, and can leave scars that seem slow to heal. When someone you trusted breaks that trust, the world feels like it's crumbling. The mind, filled with conflicting emotions, immediately starts searching for answers, seeking justice. The impulse is to react, to make things right, to seek retribution. But this is where Stoic philosophy teaches us a valuable lesson. True power lies in controlling our own reactions. The pain of betrayal doesn't need to be fueled by anger or the desire for revenge. What you should do now is not seek retribution, but embrace the wisdom of silence. This silence is not a sign of weakness, but of inner strength, of self-control. When you find yourself betrayed, the world seems to demand a quick and fierce reaction. But Stoicism invites us to understand that impulsive actions only perpetuate the cycle of suffering. The true response is calmness, patience, and trust that karma, the universal law of return, will bring balance. It can be hard to trust this process, especially when the mistake is blatant and the pain feels unbearable. But in that moment of pain, inner silence becomes the refuge where true wisdom begins to emerge. When you stop reacting impulsively, you allow the universe's energy to work in your favor. Karma, impartial and infallible, will return to each person what they've sown, but in a way you cannot control. Therefore, your best action is to give space for this process to unfold naturally, without haste or interference. And when karma begins to do its work, you realize that true justice is not immediate revenge, but the gradual and precise correction of energies. What we often fail to understand is that karma is not punitive, but restorative. It brings the truth to light, reveals hidden intentions, and puts the pieces of the universe back in their rightful place. No matter how much it feels, in the heat of the moment, like the betrayal will never be corrected, life has a way of returning what was taken justly. The person who betrayed you may not be confronted immediately, but at some point, the universe will show them the consequences of their actions. And when that happens, you'll be in a place of tranquility, watching justice unfold, knowing you didn't need to do anything but trust in the natural flow of life. That is true power, not being consumed by the desire for revenge, but allowing the wisdom of karma to handle life's unresolved matters. Manipulation is one of the subtlest forms of betrayal because it's often not seen right away. Someone tries to convince you to follow their interests, taking advantage of your goodwill, or worse, your trust. Manipulation can be so refined that, at first, you don't realize what's happening. Sweet words, empty promises, and gestures of affection all serve as bait to control you. And in that moment, the natural impulse is to react, confront, unmask the person, and fight for your emotional freedom. but Stoicism's system. Icism teaches us that we don't need to fight with the same weapons. When someone tries to manipulate us, the best response is often silence and observation. Karma, with its universal justice, always reveals the true face of those who try to deceive. It's tempting, isn't it, to lay all the cards on the table, to show that you know what the person is doing, to expose their intentions. But this immediate reaction, though satisfying in the moment, often doesn't bring the peace we seek. True power lies in staying silent, observing and letting karma do the work you cannot. Time is karma's greatest ally, and it, with its wisdom, will reveal the true nature of the manipulator. While you remain centered, avoiding provocation, the universe ensures that the manipulator reaps what they've sown. And this return is not punitive, but simply the just consequence of their actions. The wisdom of karma lies in the fact that it doesn't need our intervention to act. It knows when and how to set things right, eventually bringing the truth to light. If someone tried to manipulate your emotions or feelings, in time, that person will reveal their true intentions. Lies and deceit cannot be sustained forever. Karma, as a universal force, works in silence, bringing the truth to light in ways that often require you to do nothing. The secret is to trust this process, stay true to your principles, and observe. When someone manipulates, karma responds by showing the true face behind their words and actions. The best reaction, then, is simply not to react. Karma will always have the final word, and it will do so far more effectively than any impulsive reaction you might have. Lies have a subtle power. They creep in like a shadow, almost imperceptible, distorting reality and weaving a web of deceit. When someone lies to you, the sense of betrayal can be profound, as trust, the foundation of any true relationship, is shattered. The immediate impulse is to confront the person, expose the lie, and demand the truth. But Stoic philosophy teaches that true freedom lies not in fighting lies, but in allowing the truth to reveal itself. Karma, with its universal wisdom, always brings the truth to light at the right moment, without you needing to lift a finger. A lie may seem like a temporary solution, but karma, in its natural rhythm, ensures it unravels in time. And when that happens, the pain of the lie will weigh heavier on the liar than on the deceived. When someone lies to you, it's easy to fall into the temptation of reacting impulsively, defending yourself, or proving you know the truth. But karma teaches that often the best reaction is silence. Time is a great ally of the truth. As a lie spreads, it tends to create more distortions and problems until eventually the truth prevails. There's no need to force a revelation. Karma will uncover what's hidden. And when the truth emerges, it will be like a light exposing all shadows, bringing clarity where there was confusion. This process can be painful, but it's also liberating, as it reveals not only the other person's falsehood, but also strengthens your own wisdom, showing you the value of patience and trust in the natural order of things. The truth, like karma, follows its own path, unhurried, but with infallible precision. When someone lies to you, what may seem like a temporary victory for the liar is, in fact, a growing burden. Time, karma, and truth have a unique way of setting things right. A lie is never eternal, as it carries the weight of falsehood, and karma, with its just measure, always brings to light what was hidden. By letting karma do its work, you free yourself from the need to seek immediate truth. The universe takes care of correcting the course of things, and in due time, you'll see that the truth was revealed without you needing to fight for it. Disrespect is one of the most painful violations of boundaries. When someone crosses the line of respect, whether with words or actions, the impact on your being is immediate. You may feel hurt, perhaps outraged, and the natural impulse is to react, strike back, and restore your honor immediately. But, As Stoic philosophy teaches, true wisdom lies not in returning disrespect, but in maintaining your dignity, letting karma deliver the lesson. Karma, with its divine power, never fails to correct what was done unjustly. And often the best action is inaction, silence, non-reactivity. By staying balanced instead of reacting impulsively, the universe, with its infinite precision, takes care of bringing justice to the situation. Disrespect comes in many forms and at different times in life. It could be a malicious comment, an unfair criticism, or even an act of emotional violence. In each of these situations, you have two choices: fall into the trap of revenge or choose the path of wisdom. Stoicism teaches that the first step in dealing with disrespect is recognizing that it doesn't define who you are. What others do is a reflection of themselves, not of your worth. When someone disrespects you, it reflects their lack of virtue, not a lack of value in your essence. Karma steps in to correct the imbalance caused by disrespect. What you need to do is avoid being consumed by it and stay serene, knowing the universe will restore order at the right time. Instead of seeking revenge or retribution, silence and self-control become your greatest weapons. Karma acts unfailingly, and no matter how painful the disrespect, you can be sure it will be corrected. Divine justice has its own timing, but it always arrives. The wisdom of karma lies in knowing it's not a punishment, but a force that restores balance, ensuring that acts of disrespect return to their originator. Though you may not see it immediately, the universe has a way of correcting things in ways you couldn't achieve. So, instead of reacting, maintain your inner peace. In the end, karma will be the judge, and it will do the work you don't need to do. And when the disrespect is corrected, you'll be at peace, without needing to seek a reaction. Being unjustly accused is one of the most challenging situations we can face. When lies about who you are or what you've done are spread, the emotional impact can be devastating. You feel misunderstood, misinterpreted, and the immediate reaction is to defend yourself, shout, and try to convince others that you're right and the accusation is false. However, Stoicism teaches that instead of reacting impetuously, the path to inner peace is accepting what you cannot control. Karma, with its universal wisdom, takes care of bringing the truth to light. True justice isn't something to be sought in haste or anger, but something the universe reveals in time. When you're unjustly accused, the natural impulse is to justify yourself, to prove your innocence. This may feel right in the moment, but Stoicism's strength lies in not succumbing to the urgency of clearing your name immediately. Karma, the universal energy that governs justice, doesn't need your intervention. When lies about you spread, time reveals the truth. Often, those who accuse you lack the clarity or understanding to see beyond the surface. An unjust accusation is merely a temporary shadow, but the truth, like karma, has an unstoppable force. By letting karma do its work, you free yourself from the need to defend yourself. Silence, patience, and trust in the natural process of life become your greatest tools. No matter how intense the accusation, karma will correct the imbalance. When the truth is revealed, you'll see that your integrity doesn't need to be defended with words, but with actions that speak louder than any accusation. What you need to understand is that the universe, with its perfect wisdom, knows exactly when and how to correct injustice. True justice doesn't need to be forced. By staying steadfast in your truth and resisting the temptation to react impulsively, karma, with its restorative energy, will clear the distortions and reveal what's real. As time passes, the lies will fade, and the truth will shine on its own, without you needing to do anything but maintain your inner peace. Sabotage is one of the most treacherous forms of attack. When someone acts to undermine your chances of success, whether directly or indirectly, the pain is deep. It could be a coworker, a friend, or even someone close who, out of envy or some other motive, tries to destroy or weaken what you've built. The impulse is to react, defend yourself, confront the person head-on, and expose their intentions. But as Stoic philosophy teaches, true strength lies not in impulsive reactions, but in maintaining tranquility. When someone sabotages you, what you should do is stay focused on your path and trust karma to provide the appropriate response. Karma, with its infinite wisdom, ensures that actions are met with their due consequences, and in the end, those who sow harm will reap their own seeds. When someone tries to sabotage you, the initial reaction may be anger or frustration. The desire to confront the person and correct the injustice immediately can be strong. However, Stoic wisdom teaches that the best response is often to not respond. Instead of expending energy fighting against those who sabotage you, invest that energy in continuing your work, maintaining your integrity, and trusting in the natural process of karma. Over time, karma always finds a way to return what was done. By staying true to your truth and not falling into provocation, the universe will act justly and show the saboteur the true weight of their actions. The wisdom lies in not letting yourself be diverted from your path, but continuing with the same strength and direction, knowing that justice will be served. You don't need to do anything but keep moving forward. Often, those who sabotage others do so because they lack the courage to fight for themselves, out of envy, or because they're incapable of creating something positive on their own. Karma acts relentlessly, and the true response to those who try to sabotage you comes not from direct confrontation, but from the return of the energies they've created. As time passes and the consequences begin to appear, you'll realize you didn't need to lift a finger. Karma, with its just measure, ensures that everyone reaps what they sow. And the most incredible thing is that, by staying silent and continuing your path, you demonstrate the true value of your actions. Unlike the saboteur, you'll be rewarded for what you've built with honesty and perseverance. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, and when someone breaks that trust, the impact is immense. It could be a friend, a partner, or a coworker, but the feeling of being deceived or betrayed is the same, a mix of pain and disillusionment. Broken trust creates a fracture, an empty space that's not easy to fill. The natural impulse is to seek justice, question, demand explanations, and try to convince the other person of their wrong. But Stoicism teaches that true wisdom lies not in seeking revenge, but in understanding that karma, the universal law of cause and effect, always returns what was given, often multiplied. What was sown, whether in good or bad faith, always returns to its creator, and karma, with its relentless force, will deliver the consequences, often doubled. When someone breaks your trust, it's easy to fall into the trap of resentment, the desire to make the other person pay for what they did. However, true power lies in staying steadfast, not retaliating in kind, but letting karma do its work. Karma is impartial and inevitable. It doesn't need your negative reaction, as it already has its own plan to balance the energies. When trust is broken, the tendency is to want to fix the wrong immediately, but the best you can do is let time and karma reveal the true value of actions. The universe always finds a way to return what was given. And when karma delivers, it does so with incredible precision, bringing to light the consequences of the actions of those who broke your trust, often in a way that you wouldn't need to force. Sometimes what you perceive as a loss, the universe sees as a necessary adjustment. When someone breaks your trust, the lesson isn't just for the betrayer, but for you as well. Karma works not only to correct the other person's wrong, but to help you learn, grow, and become wiser through the experience. What the other person did will at some point return to them, multiplied, because the universe, like a perfect scale, always balances inequities. You don't need to worry about justice, as it will come in a way that transcends your immediate understanding. Karma returns everything, and what you feel as pain now will one day transform into wisdom as you see the lesson unfold. Being used by someone is one of the most painful experiences, as you feel like a disposable piece in a game you didn't choose. The feeling of being manipulated for selfish purposes is devastating, and the desire to react, defend yourself, or cut ties arises almost immediately. The natural impulse is to expose the person, make them pay for their actions, and show how dishonest they were. But Stoic philosophy teaches a valuable lesson. True strength lies in self-control. When someone uses you, the best response isn't to retaliate, but to maintain your integrity and let karma handle the justice. Karma, with its just and restorative energy, always returns what was done, often without you needing to lift a finger. It will exact the price of dishonesty, and this will happen in a way far deeper and more meaningful than any impulsive reaction you could have. When someone takes advantage of you, whether emotionally or materially, it's easy to want revenge, to confront, or to seek immediate justice. But instead, the best path is to let karma take care of everything. Karma acts unfailingly and precisely, returning what was sown dishonestly. It may seem at first that the person isn't facing consequences, but in time, karma will reveal the value of their actions. And what's remarkable is that karma's justice often isn't immediately visible. It may manifest in subtle, invisible ways, but you can be certain that those who use others will face the consequences of the negative energy they created. And you, by maintaining your integrity, create a space of peace for yourself, knowing the universe will restore balance. True greatness lies not in fighting against those who use you, but in not letting yourself be consumed by it. Karma will do its work, and it never fails. By allowing divine justice to manifest without interference, you practice the wisdom of detachment and trust in the natural process of life. What you need to do is focus on what's within your control, keeping your energy clean, not responding to dishonesty with dishonesty, and moving forward with your life. Karma, with its precision and power, will return what was done, and those who used you will face the consequences of their choices. And, as difficult as it may be in the moment, by staying steadfast and centered, you protect your peace and essence, allowing the universe to do what you cannot: balance the energies. Emotional betrayal is one of the cruelest forms of disloyalty, as it strikes at the heart, the place that should be the safest. When someone breaks the emotional trust you placed in them, whether through lies, manipulation, or false promises, the pain is more intense. Unlike physical betrayal, emotional betrayal disrupts your soul, destabilizing your perception of yourself and the other person. The first reaction is often anger, the desire to confront, to strike back, to show the person how much they hurt you. But, as Stoic wisdom teaches, true strength lies not in impulsive reactions, but in maintaining serenity. Karma, with its universal power, will always do the heavy lifting, returning to the betrayer what they sowed, without you needing to interfere. When you're emotionally betrayed, the temptation is to seek justice, defend yourself, and expose the other person. But true power lies not in seeking revenge, but in allowing karma to work silently. Emotional betrayal is painful, but it's karma that, at the right moment, will reveal the true face of the person who hurt you. Lies, manipulation, falsehood, eventually, all of these return to their source. And what's most striking is that karma's justice often isn't immediately visible. It works subtly, correcting energy so that the person involved begins to experience the consequences of their actions. In that moment, silence and patience become your greatest virtues, as you already know that, in time, divine justice will always reveal the truth. Karma, with its relentless justice, handles emotional betrayal in a way humans cannot. When someone hurts your feelings, it may seem like nothing happens, that the universe doesn't care. But the truth is that karma has a power that transcends what we, as humans, can perceive. When someone betrays you emotionally, justice will be done, and you won't need to strive for it. The pain of betrayal will transform into learning, and the lessons you take from this experience are: in a way, the price of the wisdom that comes with time. And when the other person begins to feel the weight of their choices, you'll see that karma, with its divine precision, did the heavy lifting so you didn't have to. In the end, the greatest victory isn't in seeking retribution, but in continuing your path in peace, knowing that universal justice will take its course. Being knocked down by someone is a profoundly challenging experience, especially when that person acts to discredit or undermine your confidence. Whether at work, in friendships, or in your personal life, there are always those who, out of envy or lack of integrity, try to pull you down. The natural impulse, of course, is to react. The temptation to confront, to strike back, and to prove you're better, that you deserve more, can be strong. But, as Stoicism teaches, true strength lies not in retaliating, but in maintaining your peace. When someone tries to knock you down, what you need to do is resist the temptation to engage in their game of provocation. Karma, with its immense wisdom, will correct the situation at the right time, without you needing to do anything but continue your path with dignity. When someone tries to knock you down, anger and resentment are natural emotions, but they won't lead you to true victory. Instead, karma teaches that these emotions only feed the cycle of negativity. What you should do is stay focused on your journey, not letting the actions of those who try to knock you down distract you from what truly matters. Karma works in ways you cannot control, but it's relentless and always returns to those who cause harm what they've sown. The person trying to knock you down may win a temporary battle, but karma, like a universal scale, always finds a way to restore balance. And the most powerful thing is that, by resisting the temptation to seek revenge, you place yourself in a position of self-control and wisdom. Karma, when it acts, brings true justice, correcting the imbalance caused by their attempt to knock you down. When someone tries to bring you down, you may wonder why the universe allows it to happen. The answer is that, in many cases, this attempt is a disguised opportunity for you to grow, to become stronger and more resilient. Karma, by correcting the injustice, places you in a position of greater power. By remaining centered, without losing your integrity, you become an example of wisdom and self-control. And when karma does its work, you'll realize that, in the end, true victory isn't in defeating those who try to knock you down, but in maintaining your peace and continuing your path with honor. Now that you understand how karma balances things, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. When someone wrongs you, instead of getting lost in anger or frustration, stop and think, what is truly within my control? What you can control is your reaction, your inner balance. Reacting impulsively or seeking revenge not only consumes you, but also disrupts the natural course of justice that the universe is promoting. So, how about making a commitment to yourself? When difficult situations arise, instead of reacting, pause, take a deep breath, and let karma do its work. By trusting in the process, you find peace and strengthen your resilience. Karma never fails, and with every mistake of those who try to knock you down, you grow stronger, wiser, and more unshakable. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to continue this journey of self-discovery. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been through a situation where you had to let karma do its work? How did you handle it? Leave your comment below, share your experiences, and let's talk about how divine justice manifests in our lives.